thank you so much, Christian, for joining us today. I just
No
wondered
problem.
if you could just tell me a little bit about what brought you to the Hope Project in the first place.
Of course, yes. So in 2018, I had I was in the middle of my career in IT. I had a separate business. I even had a mortgage, but my mental health started deteriorating quite rapidly with an anxiety disorder. Um, and I was referred to the Bristol Mental Health Crisis Service for the first time in my life. My health deteriorated quite rapidly. At my worst, I was unable to leave the house and totally cut myself off socially from friends. I even had to get my mum to come and live with me to support me because I felt I couldn't really cook for myself. My appetite completely went. And also, for the first time in my life, I started to have suicidal thoughts. So it was a really, really scary time for me. And I had 2 visits in the men's crisis house here in Bristol. And on exiting the house on the second time, I got signposted to the Hope Project, where I was linked with Joe, my Hope Project support worker.
Could you tell us a little bit about that and your experience of Hope as a client?
And when I was first referred, they told me that the Hope offered 10 sessions, and I thought, how on earth could that be enough? I feel like I could use that up in 1 week. But what I didn't really account for was the reassurance it gives you that there is someone at the end of the phone who you can talk to, and I could meet Joe at short notice in person if needed, and I found sort of just knowing that gave me the mental comfort for me to be able to focus on my recovery. I was registered with the Hope Project for nearly 2 years in the end, and I didn't use up all of those 10 sessions. In less than 10 sessions, I managed to get help with my benefits, which was a great comfort for me financially and mentally. Joe came with me to appear in court in front of a panel of judges to appeal a benefit decision, which we won. And that was great. But I wouldn't have been able to have gone to court to do that without the help of the Hope Project and Joe, and that decision gave me financial support for 2 years. So it was a massive help. Through my meetings with Joe, I was slowly able to rebuild my confidence back to sort of re-engage with life. I went from a person unable to function to someone who is now supporting and mentoring others in mental health recovery.
It sounds like there was a mix of actual practical help and emotional support that make the two things together. Would you say that was the key thing?
Absolutely, yes. With my sessions with Joe, he was able to identify things that would help me if I was feeling at my worst. He came up with an action plan for me to follow if I was feeling bad. He made me realise what I enjoyed doing, which you can really, when you're sort of stuck in depression, it can really be hard to identify those things. He sort of enabled me to re-engage with life and what I enjoyed doing, really, which I think really boosted my recovery.
What's your your kind of future looking like at the moment?
Well, it's a little bit hampered with lockdown presently, but I really would like to become a recovery navigator. You know, maybe even work for the Hope Project. Maybe I'll start off with support work and maybe become a recovery navigator. I would really like to work in this area and offer my lived experience to others to give hope. Lastly, I'd like to say that I really hope the Hope Project can continue, because I am proof of the results the service can achieve. And in my experience, there are not a lot of services around that support men specifically. In fact, there's hardly any at all. And so the Hope Project being there for men at the moment is so important. So I really hope it can continue as a service.
Yeah,